Hey everyone, and welcome to Baba's Kitchen. So glad we finally got this thing started. I've been wanting to do it for a long time now, so thanks everyone for joining, and hoping we're going to have a lot of fun and you guys are going to learn some really good dishes along the way. So, by the way, each session, each class, we're going to have it sponsored by somebody. So this week's class is going to be sponsored by Zoe, who is a puppy we got, and Zoe's sponsored by Irene. So thanks, Irene. So this is Zoe's session and Zoe's class, and what we're going to do in the first class is going to be pretty easy. It's more assembling than cooking. It's menaish, which is a za'atar on a flatbread, and that's one of the most common breakfasts in the Arab world. And actually, I shouldn't say the Arab world. The cuisine I'm going to be dealing mostly with is Levant, which means it's Lebanon, Syria, parts of Jordan. Jordan's more Persian Gulf cuisine. It's more desert, Bedouin kind of a cuisine, but there's some interlap. There's a lot of Palestinians living in Jordan. So yeah, it's going to be the Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, and bits of Jordan, and we're going to focus on Palestinian cuisine, which is just a little bit more. It's a little bit different than the rest of the Levant. Okay, and so the reason I'm starting off with a simple dish is because there's a part of it that I think is really important that we're all going to need to really get down, because I use it in just about every dish, and it's the cashew cream. It's very versatile. I use it for mayonnaise, I use it for yogurt, and I use it for sour cream. So like the mayonnaise, I use that with, if we get to it there, I do a hot wing sandwich, which isn't Levant obviously, but if we ever get to non-Arabic food, I do a really good hot wing sandwich that has cashew cream as mayonnaise. And then all the matlubas need the yogurt, and the cashew cream works really good as a yogurt for all the matlubas, which I'm sure we'll do. We may even do that next week. And then sour cream, I put that sometime in the soup. So that tastes really good too. So that's what we're going to do, is focus on making a nice cream. And the reason I use this cream, and I think the difference between my version of menaish, which I'm sure you've all seen a picture of, I'll probably put it in the comments if you haven't, and the more traditional menaish is, I find za'atar and bread. The typical menaish is just a flatbread, a za'atar, and olive oil. Literally, that's it. And it doesn't work for me because it's just too dry. Za'atar is just basically a seasoning. So I do my best with my menaish to make it juicier. So that's why I add the cream. I add some tomatoes. People don't do that typically. And so that's my whole point of making it the mad way, is to make the menaish, which people have all the time in the Middle East, just make it a little bit more juicy. And I just so I want to let you know from the beginning, I'm not a professional cook. I've really been cooking for about 4 or 5 years, ever since I turned vegan. And I'm basically, I learned just because I wanted to eat. I'm a foodie. I love food. So, even though I've been cooking 4 or 5 years, I've been eating for 58, and I just really appreciate good food, and I pay close attention to it, and, I try to really figure out what makes things taste good. And so, when I started cooking for myself, I started figuring out, I did it because I loved food so much, and I wasn't able to get all the food that I liked vegan. So I had to learn how to make it myself. And along the way, I picked up a lot of tricks, and I'm going to pass some of that on to you. And I just got to give credit to my mom, because virtually all the Arabic food I learned from her. I just veganized it a bit, and now she's learning how to veganize some of the food that she makes too. I'd love to have her host one of these shows when I make it to Jordan someday. Okay, so let me just get started by telling you what you're going to need for this Saturday. By the way, in case you didn't catch it, the first class is Saturday. It's coming Saturday at 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern. So the Eastern folks will have something for dinner, and the Pacific folks will have something just in time for a light lunch. Okay, so let's get into the Hug's laboratory, so I can show you the ingredients you're going to need for this weekend, this Saturday. Okay, so let me see. So here's our dinner. So let's see what we need in here. So first, to do the cashew cream, you're going to need cashews that are both raw and unsalted. So these is a nice big bag. You can get them cheap in the States. They're much more expensive in Palestine and Jordan, so they don't usually use cashew. But in the States, I find you can get raw. That means it's not roasted and unsalted. So we can do our cashew cream. You can get it at Amazon. They've got bags like this at Amazon. I don't know if you can see it. This is almonds, but you can get cashews in a bag just like this, really cheap at Amazon. So you're going to need that to make the cream, and you're going to need apple cider vinegar, and you're going to need a lemon. So all this stuff is to make the cashew cream. That's the cashew cream. Actually, you also need some salt. Okay, so that's our cashew cream. Then to make the za'atar, you're going to need some a flatbread. Some kind of gyro bread is good. Do not use the Arabic pocket bread because that'll burn and it's way too thin. By the time you heat everything up, the Arabic bread will just burn. So you want a somewhat thick, like gyros bread I find is really good. Without, not something with a pocket in it. Okay, I need za'atar. I wish I had some of the za'atar I brought with me from Jordan, but you guys cleaned me out. All that finished in a couple of days, so I don't have any more za'atar, so I have to buy U.S. za'atar. And then just to make it a little bit juicier, I have these Kalmada olives I bought from Trader Joe's. It's got brine. Don't get the ones with just in water. You want a little more flavor than that. So this one's in brine with extra virgin olive oil I got from Trader Joe's. Pitted. Make sure you get it pitted. Otherwise you're going to lose all the olives trying to cut the skin off of it. And then a little more juice. I have these peppers if you want a little bit spicy. Maybe you could try jalapeno. That's your call. But again, it's just something to make it a little juicier because za'atar on its own is kind of dry. So that's just need one of those. And then to top it off, I have these Persian cucumbers. Don't use the big fat American cucumbers. I don't like those at all. They get they're overpowering. So you want something just to add a little juice to it, and these Persian cucumbers, the little cucumbers, work perfect for that. And of course, you can't forget the Hug's olive oil. One of the key ingredients to this is you really want to soak it in olive oil. So it's a good use of your olive oil. Don't feel guilty about pouring some of it onto your bread to make mana'ish. So that's pretty much it. I'll write these ingredients down in the comments, but there it is. It's really simple stuff for our first try. But again, the key for our first week is to get the cream right. It takes a little bit of work, and it's really important. All right, so I guess I'll see you guys Saturday. I'll try to record it. I don't know if I'm going to try to use Facebook groups. I've never used it before, so if I can record it, I will. So if you can't make it Saturday, hopefully we'll have it recorded somewhere. And by the way, since I'm here in the Hug's Labs, this is I really want you guys to see this. This is I'm making. I don't know if you can see because the lighting is so bad here. It's Hug soap. So I'm making, I got a whole bunch of Hug soap that I'm making, which is out, I'm drying it at the moment. Yeah, the colors I guess aren't working too well. It's too bright. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so this is our Hug soap. It needs time to dry. There it is. The colors are just really nice. I'm experimenting with lavender. See, I've got each batch of soap. I've made these on a bunch of different days, so each batch has a date on it when it was made. I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batches, and each one, it needs about 6 weeks to dry and cure, and then I'll be able to make it, be able to sell it. And our first batch that I made was on March 7, so I'd probably start selling that in the next few days or maybe a week. And you can get fresh Hugs olive oil made from all these bottles in the back. I don't know if you can see them, but these are all the Hugs olive oil. So I used the fresh olive oil to make the soap. So it should be really good soap. Okay, so that's it for now. I'll see you guys on Saturday.